Let's start this now. So this is a introduction to Storyboarder, and we'll be going from basics of opening a project, setting up a new project, and then also going into shot generator as well into this, and basically a basic understanding and from the ground upwards to, let's say, work on your own projects or work with other people to create their storyboards. Just want to start off first off. So let's first create a new storyboard. So you open the program, and this whole program's free. This is a Storyboarder app by Wonder Unit. It can be found on their website. I'll be putting that in the description below on this video. Okay. So there's two options at the beginning. There is one, you can import a script from Fountain or Final Draft, and that comes across quite easily. And then you can also create a blank. I'm just going to create a blank because I'm just going to be working off this. It gets quite intricate if you go through the script-based format because you have to use dialogue on certain parts of the images, which can work out really great, but we're just going to keep it simple for this one. Okay. So aspect ratio you need to choose as well. So if you're shooting the old Instagram as well, there's 9:16 there. We're going to shoot ultra wide. Most of my storyboards that I do. So you can create a save folder as well. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to jump in a previous saved file. So you'll be loading your storyboard here, and your storyboard will load like this. I'm just capturing a certain area of my screen, so I'm just resizing it for you. Okay. So I'm just going to keep a handle on time. I want to try and keep these little like live broadcasts to 15 minutes or less, just so we kind of concentrate on the information. So we're in there. We can create new shots by duplicating here. We go into the shot generator by clicking this image here. Before we do that, there's just a couple of tools to. It's kind of a hybrid between, I guess, an element of Paint, Photoshop, and I guess some other Illustrator kind of tools mixed in with like a 3D shot creator. Basically, let's go on. Actually, let's open a brand new one because we can probably start from the beginning. Create a new storyboard, create blank storyboard. Let's go for 16:9. And what let's try and do is put all my storyboards in one area. And test boards, live, YouTube. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, so this is our blank slate. Here's our, we can add new images if we want to, of blank images. There's no real point of doing that unless you are trying to build out, saying like you knew that you needed 4 frames or something like that for the next scene. I'm gonna just come up with a quick idea, which is we have 2 people in conversation, and we're going to come up with that really quickly. So you open shot generator. Shot generator will open like this. You've got camera, object, character, light, volume, and image. And down here you also have other different functionalities as well, like the XYZ axis, the scale, rotation. All these are about when you're importing in the objects and bringing in new characters. So let's go with this guy. We want him to be an adult female. And so we use, I should have a mouse, but basically it's almost like a computer game essentially at this point. So use WASD to move in and out, and then you can use your mouse to hold, right click and rotate. So you can almost use these things at the same time to move around the character to wherever you want to be. As you can see in the top left hand corner here, there's your camera as well, camera 1. So you can actually physically move it like this as well. I'm just going to drop it down a little bit. I'm a little bit high, and it's really quite functional once you start getting to use it. Let's try and drop it down again. Okay. There's other things is that when you're on your camera properties here on the left hand side, you can see that you can use that's x-axis, that's your y-axis, that's your z-axis, and then you can z-axis. For some reason you've got to click off the screen. I haven't quite worked this one out. And come back up. I think it's something about like changing it and then not, I don't know. You can roll here as well, tilt, and this is field of view. So field of view is also great because you can actually adjust the lenses. See there's a little prompt saying it comes up with the bracket keys, which I guess are here on my computer. Let's try. So currently on 37, and that's a 50. Oh. And then we'll jump into a 75, or an 85, and then 100, and then 120, and let's go all the way back out. So you can really create a distorted effect. But if you click it and then don't like it, you can kind of press any other key on the keyboard, like an arrow key or something like that, and it will cancel that decision. I don't know whether they actually built that on purpose, but anyway, we will continue. So let's bring another character here. I normally like to monitor a little bit wider so I can see what's going on, and then I'll add in. This is basically camera 1 for me is always going to be a observational camera that you can move around the scene, and then I bring in new cameras as I start setting them for the scene. This is our dude who's going to come in here, and they're going to say hello. So the purple circles on the bottom of the characters are rotation, so you can rotate them around. You can also go into the XYZ here as well, and you can even adjust the height, the obesity, so if you're skinny, let's go obese. There we go, he's quite a big chunky boy, this guy, and he's also a little bit toned as well, you know. But look, you can really get a character compared to the beginning. If you look at the lady compared to our man, here it really starts becoming a form of zone. One other good thing about this program is that you can add in kids as well, and even a baby, I think. I'll just double check. Yeah, a baby, a child. It comes with like preset heights as well that are pretty accurate. If you go onto your character, you can just quickly press delete, and it'll delete your character. Or ask you a question though. You don't really want it to randomly delete things on you. Let's say this is our female mechanic here, and this is our male traveler. We're just going to do an exterior scene. I'm going to bring a box into here. I'm going to move the box using the XYZ because I find it quite easy to do it from that point of view. So they got also rotation here. I want to rotate on the on the Z-axis then, I guess. There we go. So you can change your vehicle. Well, I'm going to change it to vehicle because okay, there we go. It's got a big SUV, and there we go. Back a bit, left a bit. Let's get it behind him. And you can also bring in lights as well, but we probably will have to cover that in a different stage. Goodness, time flies. Okay, let's get on to actually creating the cameras. So I've just created another camera here. So it's camera 2. Gonna move this down a bit. So you can, this little ball is quite actually useful as long as you click off the screen. Down a bit, forwards a bit, forwards a bit, go lens in a bit. For small movements, you really want to use this to adjust. Okay, this is one of our shots. Let's say it's this guy. Hey, and he is stuck at the side of the road and needs help. And let's say, so once you're happy with the composition, and this is not my best composition, obviously, I'm just trying to do this quickly and show what's happening here. So what you want to do is then you want to save to board, and then this whole scene is then saved. So if I go out to camera 1, this is all saved. So the camera positions, the characters, the SUV. If you added in, let's say, volume, there was rain. Let's say there was rain in front of the lens. You know, all of those elements are saved. We also, we'll quit this for a second. Actually, I'll save it as a new board and show you. Okay, so we're going to quit, and then basically it's saying, have you saved your boards? If you look down here, you can see my 2 images here that I've saved off. So go yes, and there we go. Within here, you can do, it automatically does it for 2 seconds. So let me just double check. I think it's like 48. I know it does it in how many frames, I think, or how many milliseconds. Anyway, double check, but you can alter this to be your own duration of shots. But if I played it out now, you'd have this guy waving, and then it would come to this, and then it would go to blank, because we haven't done these yet. But let's carry on into here. We're going to go back into our shot generator. So you can jump straight back into where you left off, really. You can then add your 3rd camera. You can then spin this camera around. You can use these elements as well. If your keyboard's not great, or if your you know, setup of mouse and that kind of stuff is not great as well, you can really use these functionalities just to help it get precise movements and to the right areas. You definitely need to click before adjusting, or you're gonna have problems like me. Okay, we're pretty close to the eye line. Ugh. Okay. Let's just check out the match. I think it was like 40 mil or something, 55 mil. So let's change this to 55 mil. Might have to back away a bit, but this is the kind of accuracy that you can get from this. Okay, cool. We're going to save that as a new board. Yep, so now you can see down there it's generated another board in our timeline. God, I said I was going to keep these to 15 minutes. It's already 16 minutes. Okay. Okay, well, let's keep these 3 images here. I'm going to try and delete these. Oh, if you just click on them and press delete, But also, let's say I didn't want to start with this shot. I didn't want to start with this medium close-up. I wanted to start with this shot. Let's say, so what you do is you reorder by pressing Option and arrow. So Option, arrow. So now the sequence starts off like this, which is the guy's there with his SUV and it's raining, and our female mechanic turns up, and she's like, actually, let's change that around again. But this is what you can kind of practice really with this tool is seeing how your film will work and flow. So, you know, maybe there's a little camera move here from left to right. She walks in. She's like, hey, how can I help you? And he's like, my SUV's broken down. Can you give me a lift? And she's like, yeah, sure. And we will quickly jump back into here. And what you can do is you can put the characters into the car and build out the whole scene. So what I do is I don't really worry about those other characters because you can turn them on and off. So I'll just toggle them on and off. So that's off, that's on. So once I've had positions of characters and made finalized positions, I'll leave them there, but I'll just turn those two off. Let's just see how we do this one. But so okay, let's make this our man. So adult male, and he's going to be pretty obese and muscular. So the other things is, and we'll put him outside the car for a second just to show you, but the other amazing thing about this program, I say it's amazing because it's free, it's literally incredible. People could actually make probably, you know, good money from making amazing storyboards through this. I know mine aren't amazing right now, but so what you can do is you put in sitting. There's lots of different types of sitting in here. Sitting and reading, sitting. Okay, let's do sitting. Let's do sitting in a car. And then you can bring this guy back inside his car. And I know it needs to go a little bit left and back, which we can do just by a couple of small alterations. Probably need to bring it down a little bit as well. And you can also do half point adjustments as well. But that is not, I know his hands aren't actually touching the steering, we will just move them there. But for all intents and purposes, for a sequence of images, and you can also adjust these hands so they're actually touching the wheel. And then let's say we had another camera. Can really bring in your camera to actually previs your sequence, and I don't like that shot so much, so I'm going to rotate it around a little bit more. I kind of think I like this image a bit more. You can see how tricksy it can be. You just got to learn the ways of it really. And then let's save that to the board as well. Okay, I am pretty much going to wrap this up now, but thank you so much for your time. I hope this has kind of helped. You know, you can really build a lot in here with Storyboarder. I'll also be covering Cine Tracer, a little beginners to Cine Tracer as well. How I like to use Shot Designer as well, and Shot Deck when building a film. But yeah, this is kind of a little mini series. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and I hopefully we'll do a couple more of these. Cool. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.